what's going on, baby? How you doing? Listen,
I'm good.
welcome
I'm
to Raw
good. How
Talk.
you
You're
doing?
good. You're good. Look, we might
Yeah,
as
all
well be
considering,
good.
yeah, I still got this cold whooping on me.
Oh, listen, that cold thing is hard to shake. I know people, a couple of people who have had the flu, and you've had the cold. My daughter's been working on cold. It's cold and flu season, so it just comes with the territory, you know. But
Yeah, all of us have it
we
over
want
here.
to welcome everybody tonight to for joining us on the show. Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to Raw Talk Live. We ask you every Wednesday when you join us to make sure that you please go back, go to YouTube if you haven't already, subscribe, comment, share, like, and hit that notification bell. Join us also on Facebook at Raw Talk. We have you part of the Raw Talkers to share your thoughts and opinions, and let us know what you want to talk about sometime. All of that good stuff. It's nothing without you. It's nothing without you. So we are so happy for you with us Wednesday night, and thank you too. If you replay, make do all of that as well. We want to welcome those who always catch us on the replay, and we appreciate that so very much. Hello, beautiful sister. Hello, my Sinitra. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so tonight, once again, we find ourselves talking about the very sad murder case of Shanquella Robinson, the young lady who took a vacation trip to Cabo, Mexico, with six of her friends, and within 24 hours after her arrival, a little bit more, she was dead at their hands, or at least at the hands of one person. And so what we find is that there's a lot of content out there about what's going on. We don't claim to be investigative reporters or anything like that. We're just here to talk about it. Give you an opportunity to share your thoughts, because a lot of times you're watching TV and they say something and you just say it out loud in the room and nobody else hears you. So this is an opportunity for you to say exactly what you think. So we'll be sharing news and information, but we will also like to hear from you on what your theory is. And so there is a content creator. Her channel is called Chronicle Speaks. She has done an excellent job of investigating this story and keeping up to date on that. So we will be using some video clips from her posted report. We encourage you to go follow Chronicle, keep up with what this sister is saying and doing. She has a direct contact with a news reporter in Mexico, and so she is getting a lot of good information. We think it's good. We hope it's good, firsthand on how this thing is going to go. She also shares her opinion on her theory of what she thinks happened. So we're going to be talking, about theory today. Okay. And and what your theory is. So of course, last week, by the time we got off the air, an arrest warrant had been issued, and we knew that the Peggy is babysitting her little grandson, and he is always talking. The only time he's not talking is if he's sleeping. But he likes to talk and he likes to sing, and he just enjoys doing all of that kind of stuff. So there you go. What's going on? She's pulling double duty these days. But so yeah, a lot of folks have been talking about it and what's going on, and so we knew last week that between the FBI in Mexico and Interpol, an international warrant for arrest was put out for one of the for one of the suspects in the case. We'll let you get him comfortable. For one of the suspects in the case. Hello, Miss Young. Hello, welcome, darling. So we reported on that right away. but we really didn't know what was going to happen. Like, what does that mean? They would not release the name of the person that was on the warrant. That's something that they don't do until they are ready to issue what is called a red notice release, and that has to come from Mexico. So that's what eventually happened. Now here's the thing that's going on. What's up, Texas? This is my co-producer Willie Starr out of Texas. He makes sure I keep up on everything that's going on and get all of the latest stuff. He's going to get comfy and keep up with what's going on. So I appreciate you so much, Willie Starr. And so so what happened is the arrest warrant was issued. We didn't know whose name was on it and what was going to happen from there. Would the United States actually extradite someone back to Mexico? Well, there's some things that have to happen, and although they're not moving fast enough for us, they're moving. At least the FBI is involved, and from that something might happen. But also because they are involved, it makes us wonder if there is more to this story than what meets the eye. So I have some clips to share with you about this, and then we'll see what you think.
A police report from the day she died says guests at the resort called for medical help, claiming she had drunk a lot of alcohol. A doctor said she was, quote, stable but dehydrated, adding that the guests refused to bring her to a hospital. The police report said she went into cardiac arrest and was declared dead at 6 p.m. But an autopsy obtained by ABC News contradicted that report, saying she was declared dead 3 hours earlier, suffering from a severe spinal cord injury and a dislocated neck.
They attacked her and there was nothing she could do, and all she could say is no.
That's real sad. And so you see, that's where it gets, because you have authorities that have two different versions of what happened. And so that makes every part of this very questionable. Hello, good evening, Mr. Jones. Welcome to the fray. So happy to have you. Another reporter in the building. We appreciate it. Hi, Derek. Yes, have a baby on the show now, and like the king that he is, he lets it be known that his presence is here. He is felt. Hi, Carletha, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Let's see what's happening in Babyland. What's going on over there, girlfriend? Hey, she's still working. Grandma duties are hard sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, so she's working on it, and the precious little sweet little thing, he doesn't feel so good tonight, but we are interested in hearing what you have to say. So all right, so one report that somebody was called for her before 3 o'clock, and that at 3 o'clock, 3:15, she was pronounced another report says they worked on her for 3 hours. Whoever heard of such a thing? That's ridiculous. I don't believe that at all. And then sometime around 6 o'clock she ceased. But see, the coroner report, if the coroner is telling the truth, and that's the problem with folk, not just in Mexico but everywhere, getting people to tell the truth. If the coroner report is accurate and truthful, then they say she died around 3 o'clock or 3:15, and the body tells the truth on all of those things. I find it very, very curious that someone would come to her aid and see her condition and then say, well, we're they say, well, we don't want to take her to the hospital. The oh no, don't take her to the hospital. How do they get to decide that? And this woman's father was live on social media. He said he was at the funeral home when her body was delivered, and he saw that his baby's eyes were beaten shut, that her lip was split, and then the coroner says her neck is dislocated and her spine is severed. And so you're going to tell me that as a medic, you're going to come see somebody in this condition, and you let somebody tell you that the reason why they're in that condition is because they drank too much alcohol and they had alcohol poisoning. I, you know, and that's just not feasible. That's just not believable that and that she's dehydrated and needs to go to the hospital, and then you say no, we're not taking her. So what, they beat her up some more and split her lip afterwards? you know uh, Come on. I don't know. I don't know what you've heard. Hello, classmate. Hello, my love. Gail Alexander in the building. Welcome all of our family, all the Raw Talkers to the virtual building tonight. So we're talking about all of the different conflicting information that's being presented about what really happened to Shanquella Robinson. I would love to hear what your theory is. Here is some more.
Mexican authorities now saying the prime suspect in the case back in the United States.
The fact that the person accused is an American citizen fundamentally changes all of the evaluation here.
Mexican prosecutors filing charges for femicide, which means they believe Robinson was killed at least in part because of her gender. Mexico is asking the U.S. to extradite the suspect to face charges in Mexico. The Department of Justice will have to evaluate any evidence.
If the U.S.
All right, so they have to evaluate the evidence and see if they think that Mexico has enough evidence to prosecute this young lady. Now, let me tell you what the penalty is. When you're talking about femicide, that's murder against a woman. It could be a man against a woman or a woman against a woman. But what makes it femicide is that the murder is particularly violent. Okay, and it is especially brutal. So for that offense, if found guilty, then it's 20 years. And Mexico doesn't do like the United States. It's not like first degree murder and murder in the second degree and manslaughter and your grandmama and all that kind of stuff. They don't play that game. It is what it is. There's one sentence. Ain't no reduced sentence for good behavior or none of that kind of stuff. They can be bribed. So if your money ain't funny, you might be able to work a little something out. And it's questionable as well in this case as to whether or not the medical and police who responded are at fault in some way for what happened to this young lady. Did they off to go and just leave her? I don't know, but time will certainly tell. So it's a minimum of 20 years, a maximum of 50, and it ain't no party. Okay? Yes. Benjamin Jones says Dejanay Jackson is the person who they will send. And indeed, took a whole week before we were able to find out that it is Dejanay Jackson's name on that warrant. Okay, and according to a friend of mine, he says who's had the misfortune of being in a Mexican jail for a little while. He says, look, the Mexicans don't play. What's going to happen is that she's going to get passed around like a dirty dish rag. There's nothing nice about it. There's nothing nice about it. Hi, Mikey. The Mikey story. Yeah, he says from what I know off and and often on the scene. This fight was completely something that completely wrong. And and we know that. And we also know that Mexico has two videos, one that we've seen and another one that they have access to. So there's a lot that went on, but it sounds like to me everything went terribly, terribly wrong. So from ABC News, let's I think this one is from ABC. See what they have to say about what happens when
if the U.S. authorities and potentially U.S. court are not convinced that the Mexicans have a very strong case, then it's very unlikely that she would be extradited.
Now, U.S. authorities could also choose to prosecute this case themselves, and we know the FBI is already investigating. But I spoke to one former U.S. diplomat based here in Mexico who tells me that it's all about whether the Mexican government will cooperate here. Will they turn over their case files? Will they allow the FBI the access they need to properly investigate? Those remain open questions at this point. Kira?
You know, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of people want to know why didn't they do it faster, what exactly is going on. But when you have a crime that was committed in another country and those people leave the country, the first question is, why did authorities allow them to leave the country? What was going on with that? What happened there? Who allowed that? What's up with that? And so they were allowed to leave. What you think, girlfriend?
I think it was timing. You know, if you can get in under the radar before it's really reported, that maybe they caught the first plane out. They caught the first plane and they got the hell out of Mexico. They wouldn't wait around. Timing.
Mm-mm. Yep, timing is everything. Mikey Story says the Mexican laws are not the same as the U.S. laws, and it's not in her favor. Nothing is in her favor. According to my friend who has been to a Mexican jail, he said, there's not going to be a trial. It's not like in the United States where you're tried by a jury of your peers. There's no trial. All information is written and submitted to the judge. He reviews all of the evidence in the case. All of any lawyers have to submit their arguments in writing, and the judge reads those and takes those into consideration. But it's not all of that fancy stuff like we have going on here. And so that's how that goes. And right off, that doesn't sound like anything that's in your favor. And you're talking about going to a foreign country and going to a foreign country and that type of thing. You can't speak the language and they don't care if you do or not. It's not good. And so yes, that is the question. What's going to happen? Word on the street is once they get her, if she's extradited, she just immediately goes to prison. And you can see, in the United States, you have due process. They have no due process there. They're like, girl, you better eat these refried beans and shut the hell up. Because you don't know when we're going to get to you. According to my friend who was incarcerated in Mexico for a short period of time, he said that while he was there, he ran into another American young man who had to Mexico without telling anybody because he was going to do a drug deal, and he got busted. And he had been there in that prison for 3 years with no ability to contact anybody. See, you don't get no phone call. That's a U.S. thing. That ain't no Mexico thing. No phone call for you. You don't get a phone call. So he said he had been there 3 years and his family did not know where he was or anything. You just sit. You just rot. Nobody cares. There's no just us. You know, well, Jane, your sentiments are those of everyone. Everybody hopes that they pay, and they hope that everybody involved pay. The person who committed the assault, and those who encouraged it, those who did nothing,
Everybody
and
did
all of
nothing.
that good stuff. You know, um, Mikey's story says that he says I watched the lead attorney, and he had the investigative reporter who gave the real deal as to what is going to happen there. Is what he said similar to what I said, Mikey's story? um, Jane says these young people nowadays seem to be excessive, and hey, I can agree with you. But much like young people, they don't think a lot about the future. They don't think about the consequences. Um, and Carlita, I don't know what you mean, but it's funny. Um, yeah, excessively violent. I don't get it. If somebody bumps into you, you want to shoot them. Somebody accidentally steps on your shoe, you want to shoot them. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, you want to shoot them. What's the matter? But it's definitely out of control. And it's pretty sad. Now, the young lady from Chronicle Speaks, who does her content creation on YouTube. That's her YouTube channel, Chronicle Speaks. Go check her out. She's been very thorough in reporting this. Now, last night, all of the bloggers were going crazy. Social media was lit up saying, there's been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case. There's been an arrest. She's been arrested. Dejanay Johnson, has been arrested. But no one knew if she had turned herself in, if she had been picked up by Interpol, or where they found her. Was she at home? Was she somewhere else? What happened? There are no details on that. And I searched today like madness: ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, looking anywhere to see if they reported that Dejanay Johnson, the accused murderer, the alleged murderer in this case, had been arrested. Nobody reported. None of them reported that. It wasn't in the Washington Post. It hasn't been reported. Now, if it has and I missed it, somebody please correct me. But I looked for it. The only places that were saying that were people who are content creators and news reporting bloggers. They were making, they were, making all the accolades about it. My story says that when it comes to what goes on in a Mexican jail, the person who he saw, the reporter, actually said even more, like there are gangs in there and the extortion in the jail, and that at this rate, those women don't stand a chance. I heard that as well. That the gangs run the prison. And there's no recourse for you. Somebody does something to you, well, it just got done. You've been had. And I think in Los Cabos that jail is said to be co-ed, which it doesn't matter, because if a man wants you, if they want you, they'll get you. They'll snatch you out of the jail cell and take you over there where the men are. Take you to where the guards are and where they do the cruel things that they do to people. But word on the street is they gonna run right through them, like the A train in New York. Yeah, Sinitra said, no, it hasn't been reported. I'm looking for somebody to say that this young lady is actually in custody. I can't verify it. All right. So, Mikey story, and I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Mickey or Mikey? No, it's Mikey. That Dejanay being arrested is not going to be public until after the fact. It's all about security. at
Mhm.
this point. And I'm wondering how long before they go after the other people. You know, are they going to look to extradite them as well? Or are they just going to isolate Dejanay for a while and let her start singing a tune? It'll
Mhm.
be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. And so, time will tell in this case. Time will tell. But now the young lady I spoke of, who does Chronicle Speaks, has her own theory of what happened. And I wanted to share with you what she thinks happened and then get your response to see what you think really happened to
Just
Shanquella.
briefly steer away from this interview really quick, I want to give you my own personal beliefs. I do not believe that this was a setup that they had prior to going to Mexico. I feel this was a card game gone terribly wrong. Now, they had a card game, and one card in the game said, all players send hate mail, mean text, DM, post, etc. to the people that flake tonight. I think just from my own personal investigative standpoint, this was a card game gone dead. I'm just going to tell you how I broke it down in my own mind. Shanquella slept in the master bedroom because she paid for the villa out of her own pocket, and we'll discuss that later. Now, I think Dejanay rounded up everyone and told them that she was going to fight Shanquella. Only one side of the bed had been slept in. You can see the pillows on that side. One side had been moved, and obviously one side had not. Now, I believe she used that duvet, that one sheet that they fold up at the bottom of the bed. I think she used that to wrap up in because you could see it was rolled up during the assault. Now, again, I believe she was woken up out of her sleep because the assault again happened on the same side of the bed where it looks like she slept on. Now, there's been talk that her family said she typically slept naked, and you know, a lot of us do that. I think she woke her up and she confronted her and told her to get up, and that she was going to fight her. People recording are standing back far enough as to not wake up Shanquella, and they were probably told not to jump in. But they had their cameras ready to record it, even her quote-unquote best friend, Mr. Khalil Cook. There are some videos on Twitter where you can hear Shanquella briefly say, okay, and Dejanay says, okay. 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 Shanquella then puts one foot behind the other and reaches out to begin to block Dejanay. I do personally believe that Dejanay did wake her up, confront her, bring the other ones in the room, tell her to get out the bed, gave her enough space to get out the bed, because clearly there was just enough space in between them that I think Dejanay just wanted her to get ready, and Shanquella, just wanting to get it over with, was like, okay, not knowing that this will end her life. I don't personally feel like this aggravated assault was intended to end Shanquella's life. I believe Dejanay really thought they were going to fight, and this fight went completely left and ended up in a way that none of them figured it would end up. And also, Mr. Gerardo did speak about the second video when a woman came into the room and stopped the fight and actually got into it with Dejanay. So again, going back to the interview, he does admit that there are two videos, and according to the police, there is a person that tried to intervene in the fight, and it's not one of those men. She heard screams and blows, and she came from the back bedroom, and she gets in front of the camera a little.
Okay, so you see, that is that young lady's point of view. She says that she thinks it's a card game that went awry. I, I don't think so. I don't think so.
At this point, anybody could speculate anything.
Yeah.
I heard she said the comment was like, I'm tired of you.
I heard that comment.
Right.
I
From
heard
what?
her say
Saying
that.
something? Right.
You
So
know,
what
but
could
I
she
don't
have
know what that
meant?
what does that mean?
Right.
You know, and I don't know
Could have
why
been
somebody, you know, what somebody would say, I'm going to fight you, and they go, okay, and then you go, okay. I don't know what those two okays were about, but I saw the video, and right before she, you know, strikes, you know, it's like, you know, she says to her, okay, and then, you know, Shanquella says, okay, and, you know, okay to what? You know, the mic is still it says trust and believe that she would snitch in order to try to make a deal and try to get a lesser sentence, but it really don't matter. She's done. Ain't no deal making in Mexico. You got to have some money. You got to have some long money. You ain't making no big deals. I don't know, but maybe she got long money. How do I know? I don't know. The guy holding the camera is considered an accessory, and they are going to use the fact that he did nothing to stop it to throw his ass under the bus and into jail too. And that's what we're hoping for as well. What did they think this was? When you're standing up there saying, "Oh, well, aren't you going to fight back?" Are you kidding me? Are you for real? Uh, it sounds like some kind of show, like you've gone to a wrestling match. Uh, yeah, I'm not feeling it either. I'm not feeling the card game thing. This is your friend. You're okay. So, it's your friend. Have you gone on trips with your friends? Uh, you know, uh, I just don't know anything that I could do to somebody or them to me that would make me, want to beat them up that bad. Uh, Now we've been on trips where couples got into disagreements, but not the friends who were there. All right, so something like that has happened, but I don't know. It just I can't wrap my mind around it. They can't make it make sense for me. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of talk about money. There's a talk about Shanquella Robinson having 17,000 with her, or declaring $17,000. I don't know how true that is or not. Um, um, Benjamin says they may not even have accessory charges in Mexico. You might not even get charged for being an accessory. They don't care if you was there or not. Did you strike the blow? So that would be interesting to see. Okay, Willie Starr says that Fayetteville City News is reporting that Dejanay Jackson was arrested. Okay, so I'll have to check that out and see. But still very interesting, don't you think, that no quote unquote mainstream media has reported it? All right, I get it. You might not report on it every single day, but when there's something breaking, when there's something new or different, I would expect that you would hit that on your news somewhere. It's not on their websites. They didn't report that. Mikey says it doesn't matter about a card game. The facts are that she got beat up by two women, and Shanquella didn't even fight back, and she is deleted. She is passed away. She is gone on to glory. Okay. It is very strange. Hey, Jax, what's going on, baby? It's a very strange situation. Travel Nor is where I say it is this afternoon. Explain that to me, Benjamin. I don't know that I understand. Oh, all right. Saw it. So what did you see? All right. Let me know what it is that you saw. And so you've got multiple videos. You also have the story of ladies coming from another room after hearing the commotion and making an attempt to stop it. And it's believed maybe that second video shows her in a physical altercation with Dejanay. But Dejanay went after Shanquella like she was a man. How many times do you hit a person? Um, mm-mm. And how do you
What
start
else?
off
She was a conscious person.
from a position of being calm? It wasn't like they were in a heated, argument, not that we could tell,
Right.
and that things escalated, and this person is not even fighting back. Her mother said, hey, she's not a fighter. She's not a fighter. That's not what she was looking to do. Oh, okay. The story of Dejanay's arrest is in Travel Noir. Okay, we'll check and see. Oh my God. So Jax 1108 says that there are reports that she took over 30 blows to the head, which explains why her neck was, you know, dislocated. They all lied. Yes, they did. And the death report said otherwise. Now, that part is the truth. They lied to everybody. They lied about the alcohol. They lied about what happened to her. They lied to her mother. They just lied. And then they got the hell out of Dodge, And it would be interesting to find out if they got away with her cash money as well. Did she have 17? Did she have a large cash amount of money? And listen, I know people got money. They do their own thing. This young lady was a successful entrepreneur. But I don't know that many people who travel with $17,000 of cash. I would imagine that maybe they do for whatever reason or another, but in this modern day, do you need that? You have a credit card, you have a debit card, you got Cash App, Apple Pay, Zelle. Why would you be carrying that large of a sum of money? That's what makes me feel like there's something in the water that's not clean. Were they going over there for something else? Because you're playing cards. I know you're just chilling, having a good time, but it doesn't look like you were doing any kind of special party celebration. Right. And you're right. And there are two videos. Benjamin says there has to be two videos because we didn't see 30 blows in the video that was posted here, that was released here for social media. But her father said that her head was beaten up. He said that her eyes were swollen shut, that her lip was busted. So that's a lot of blows to the head to give somebody who is not fighting back. Even in professional boxing, they don't let you do that kind of stuff. So what the hell is going on? So a lot of people say it's a jealousy situation, that they set her up to go there to get her far away.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they may have
somebody
convinced
has
her
something up
some
their
kind of way
sleeve.
to bring a lot of money. What did you say?
I was saying I believe they had something concocted up their sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
If not before they got there, once they were there in the room, when she walked in the room and they kind of all looked back at her like she was an alien. They were talking about whatever was going to go down. They were concocting the story, to get it hung up at that point, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very very true. It ain't no car. Yeah. And Benjamin says, but why? And that's what we keep saying, but why? But why?
Jealousy. Jealousy and
Time will
enviousness.
tell.
Jealousy and enviousness will make you do crazy things.
I'm
People
always
will kill
surprised
you.
though at people believing it somehow themselves and other people that they can do this and get away with it.
Maybe they
And
depended on Mexico, government not being up on things that they could slip through the cracks and get away with murder.
mm-hmm.
Maybe they counted on
Rael
that,
says,
but they wouldn't give it to them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going with the jealousy theory. So if you're jealous and this person carries a lot of money, or you told them to bring a lot of money, to do one thing or another. It could very, very well have been a setup, because it certainly didn't look like there was anything to argue about. And a card game go wrong. So, have you ever been around people who are gambling and playing cards, and who get real serious about it? They get serious and heated right then. They don't wait until somebody goes to bed, or leaves the game, or leaves the room, or whatever. If something goes down in a card game, that's looked upon to be cheating, or anything of that nature, you pay the price right then.
Yep.
You know. Um, Yeah, Jane says that she'll keep up with the lead attorney until it's settled. And in this young lady's uh, report, she has the link for the lead attorney in her posted on her report on YouTube channel. Chronicle Speaks, so you can follow her there. Yeah, Benjamin is with you, Peggy. He says it seems like the whole thing was some kind of conspiracy.
Yeah, I believe so. And
Hmm.
let me say about the money, and I heard a couple of people talking, two that you sent me. I was hearing
Yes.
them saying that a lot of people are jumping on board with this story because they're attaching the cash app, or they have the monetization for the stars. They want money. They seen it as a come up, and that's why this story is so hot. People jumping on board. Like I said, we don't have cash app. We don't ask people for money or anything like that. We just coming on here to earnestly have a conversation about what took place. And um, like I said, it's just so that we can share information and hear what other people have to say as well and how they feeling about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
And Rael says that in the video, it looks like they were plotting against her, just like you mentioned, Peggy. And you're absolutely right. That um, that's not unusual for people who create YouTube content to do, especially if they do news and entertainment reporting. And this is hot for them, and it's going to be to come up for some people as well. But we're not doing that. We're
Amen.
looking more for your thoughts and opinions. What have you heard? What do you think? An opportunity for you to get it off your chest and express yourself. Jax 1108 says there was no recording. If there was no recording, they would have gotten away with it. But you see, folks, these 20 somethings, I don't know what they are, Generation X, W, Y, Z, millennials, whatever you want to call them. um, Everything they do
They
is
record.
is a reason to post something. Every little aspect of their life, and how foolish. But you see, mm, the devil will trick you into thinking that you can do that, and keep it and get away with it. And God says, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Not this
um,
time.
yeah, yeah, Mikey. Mm, 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 um, you, what's the matter, Peggy?
No, like you said, he said you won't get away with it this time.
No, you
Exposed
won't.
once again.
I would have to, I
With the
would need
camera, the
your,
video recording.
all of that video recording, and, mm, and
Sometimes it
it
can
would be,
be
it's
good, and
interesting
sometimes it
to
can blow up
me.
in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know who got it, and who posted it. Was that done by somebody in the Mexican uh police department or what? Who did that? I would love to, Mikey. You would have to send me your email address, and I tell you what though, go to Raw Talk 2021 at Gmail, and send me your information, because I can't imagine that we won't touch on this again next week. It might not be the full topic of discussion, but it might be. And so I can get you on then, but I can't do it right now, technically speaking. um, Jane says she doesn't do Cash App. Let me tell you something, girl. Cash App has saved my life. I do Cash App. A lot of people are afraid of it because, they think that, you'll get hacked or somebody will steal your money,
I
and that
love
can
Cash
happen
App.
anyway. Um,
I
Hi,
love
welcome,
Cash
Lacey.
App.
Welcome to Raw Talk. Y'all know the Mexican, she says, y'all know that the Mexican investigative journalist, Gerardo Zuniga, deleted his whole uh, metropolitan site. I'm heated. Was it a scam? Oh my goodness. See, I didn't know that. Now this person who she's mentioning is also the Mexican reporter that Chronicle Speaks has been getting her information from. But
Mm-hmm.
you know that journalists in Mexico died behind stuff like this. So I'm hoping that he's still alive and that his page wasn't deleted because they deleted him. And it could have been a plot
Mm-hmm.
by the Mexicans just to put out certain propaganda like information about this story. So I don't know if it was a scam or not, but we can go to Chronicle Speaks and check with her and see what she has to say. It would be interesting to me. Jane says she don't. She said I don't do GoFundMe either. Well, it's okay, baby. We understand. It's all right. You want to do it the old-fashioned way. If somebody passes away and the family needs some money, you'll go over there. You take a pie and an envelope and do it like that. But no GoFundMe. I understand completely. Complete. So yeah, I'm just catching up with you all. Welcome, playwright Dion L. Turner in the building. The Raw Talk. Dion, you are saying what we've been saying since last week, and even before. She says, I would love to hear what triggered them, as they always say, it's two sides to a story. Actually, there's three. Their side, that side, the truth. And
Camera.
she said, two sides to a story. Not saying what they did was right. Of course it wasn't. But I would sure love to know what really triggered their actions to take some serious jealousy and some serious pain. That it takes some serious jealousy and pain to react the way that they did. And it didn't look like a reaction to me. You get somebody up and they stand up and you say, hey, I'm tired of your shit. And then they go, okay. And then you go, okay. And then the next thing you know, you at blows. See, that ain't triggering. That's not escalation. That's not conflict and encounter. What is that? That's a plot and a plan. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
But do that for me, or you feel me. Yeah, they do get killed. You're talking about the reporters in Mexico. They get murdered all the time. Listen, them gangs, that the way they run stuff over there is not anything that you want to mess with. Right now, there is way too much speculation about what happened, but the bottom line is someone is going to go to prison. No questions asked. And I agree with you, the Mikey story. It's going to happen. And she might have to take the fall for everybody. It's a sad state of affairs. Sadly, it doesn't take much for us to harm each other. And that's what I don't understand. Why are people greedy and jealous to the point that they would want to kill you? Yes, girlfriend?
I'm wondering if she was vaccinated. The one that beat Shanquella up. You know, we
Okay.
have a theory on these vaccination shots. How they turn people up and make them. Maybe it was a full moon. I don't know what was going on, but something
And
in
that's
the
another
mix
very curious
turn around and
theory.
act
Dion
like
says
that.
we only
Yeah.
see what they showed us. We only see what we don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And I'm telling you, I believe that there's a lot more to this story than what meets the eye. But if you missed out on what girlfriend Peggy was saying, she and I off air talk about all of these mass killings all of a sudden, a lot of them black on black crime. And look, we know that there's plenty of black on black crime. There was plenty of black on black crime before COVID. All right, but we don't know what they put in folks. We don't know if there is, something that they can do. And look, you say, oh man, y'all are really stretching. I don't know if we're stretching that far, that one by one, they just start triggering people. There's something in them that they can use to set them off, because we are seeing it more now than ever before. It used to be not to be, not to come off racist or anything, but it used to be anytime there was a mass shooting somewhere, at a concert or whatever, all of that kind of stuff. Black people didn't even think about it. They go, oh, them white people so crazy. Because don't nobody but white people do that kind of stuff. When we came along, white people did that. Black people didn't do that. You didn't have black people committing suicide in numbers the way our Caucasian counterparts do, and you certainly didn't have black people running around committing mass murders. But we've had Virginia, we've had the Walmart, we've had too numerous to mention just here in the last month, just being set off. So I don't know what that's about, but it would be interesting to know if she was vaccinated or not. The Mikey story says, my question is, at what point is the example going to be made in these cases that will get people to do less of these crimes? I don't know. If you are of a religious elk, you can say, hey, a spirit gets into you. It's a demon spirit that takes over, and that makes it happen. And then of course, there's the scientific side that says mental illness is real. And folks are walking around here undiagnosed and unchecked and out of sorts. And they are able to get out and get weapons far too easily. Jax 1108 says it was the Day of the Dead in Mexico. Ooh, 3 other young blacks died the same time as Shanquella Robinson.
Haven't heard anything about those.
No, but it was interestingly close to Halloween. I don't
that
know
Monday,
what happened.
November 28th?
Yeah, because Halloween is October. It was October. She was killed on October 29th. They went on October 28th. She was dead by October 29th, and Halloween was just 2 days away. So I don't know if something like that set them off or not. Jane says if they charge her with femicide, that has a 20 to 50 year sentence. Yes, we mentioned that earlier. And there's no time off for good behavior or none of that other stuff. Okay. You're right, Jackson. It's very real. Mental illness is very real, and we can. Okay, Benjamin says he knew about the other 3. I'll call you tonight after the show and curse you out about not telling me that. The Mikey story says, let's be honest, white people committing mass shootings and getting caught are treated as mental illness, and blacks are treated as murderers. And that's true too.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they lead them away all quietly, and go get them a snack and make sure they're comfortable and take them to jail, and and pet on them and rub on them and all of that kind of stuff. You're absolutely right, Mikey. Jax 1108 says yes. It was in the news due to carbon monoxide poisoning. So that sounds like suicide, or somebody put something in your drink and then leaves you to die in the car. I don't know. Carletha says most bad people are dead or in jail. We will see and hear how bad she is real soon. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, Benjamin says that he thinks that the other black people were murdered by Mexicans. So
Mm.
and we've heard that there's a lot of that going on, snatching, kidnapping, murdering, all of that kind of stuff. Listen, I like Mexico. I've been a couple of times. If I never go again, I'll be just fine. I'm not looking to
Okay.
go. They can keep it. I got a nice little Mexican restaurant around the corner from where I live. I go get me some chips and white queso and some shrimp tacos and have myself a ball. And then I say, adios, amigos, andale, andale. I am out of here.
Hmm.
Okay. So Jack
Not
says
only
it
just
happened
Mexico,
in
like
an
I said,
Airbnb.
it could be any of those places. It could be St. Croix, St. Thomas. It could be Hawaii. It could be just not just Mexico. I'm staying home. I don't know about other people. I don't care about the vaccine. I'm not vaccinated. Don't plan on getting vaccinated. Don't care if I can't travel or go on a cruise. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing it. I'm
Mm-mm.
perfectly okay staying here.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't really they have taken off that requirement for cruising. It was so critical and important that you had to be vaccinated. Now it's like, no, you don't. It's
Hmm.
okay, y'all. Come on.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Benjamin said he'll
About
go to El
COVID-19.
Paso. Huh?
I say I don't even hear them talking about numbers. I don't hear them talking about shutting anything down. I don't hear them talking about the hospitals overrun this year. I don't hear anything about COVID or the ones that followed COVID.
No, but apparently
Not
it
hearing it
is
here.
on the rise, extremely on the rise in China, and they back to restrict about mask wearing, that type of thing. Um, and the thing that's sending people to the hospital this season is the flu and RSV, which is an upper situation that gives you bronchitis and pneumonia. And so the hospitals are packed with that. I had
Mm.
a Thanksgiving holiday whose mother came down with the flu. They went to the emergency room. Now her mother is 83, has COPD and chronic asthma. They're able to really breathe. They go back home and come back at 2 o'clock. Meanwhile, the emergency room was full and people were out in the parking lot in their cars waiting to be called in for treatment. And so, and then some people they just send back home, and then you have to go back. So, there is something going on, but this is cold and flu season, so I would think it's to be expected. Benjamin is so funny. He says that he will stand in El Paso, Texas, and look over Mexico from the border, but he ain't going over there. And you can go to
Right.
Texas and get anything you want to eat that's from Mexico. Trust and believe. Thank you, Jax
I was
1108.
saying
I don't
that
know what I'm
the
so
flu.
right about, but thank you. What'd you say, girlfriend?
I was saying that our flu season is no such thing anymore. It's all year round.
It's all year round.
It's all year round.
It
You
is.
don't know when you're gonna pick up something.
Mm-hmm.
Flu season.
For sure. For sure. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time, your input. your support and your attention. Please make sure that you comment, like, share, and hit the notification bell on YouTube for us. We're working on growing our channel. Also, you can join us every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock on Facebook as well. Dion is asking if I saw comments. I read all of your comments that I saw, my love. Let me see, like that one. That we only get to see whatever they decide to show us. And the comment you made about you want to know what triggered that. Oh, all right. Dion says the way she talked to them like they were beneath her as she entered the room, saying, "Bitches, it don't take that long to get naked." Now,
Yeah, she sounded like she was
what she's saying is that Shanquella said that to the other females in the room. She talked to them in a tone that made it seem like she felt like they were beneath her. I didn't hear that. That could very well be true, that she did have that kind of attitude. But we also know that especially young people, they refer back and forth to each other as bitches. They go, oh, bitch, please. Oh, bitch, you this. Bitch, you better not. Everything, every other word is, is the bitch word to your so-called friends. They talk to each other like that. I have even talked to my daughter sometime. I said, my friends and I, we talk to each other real sweet, but they talk to each other rough. They, they talk to each other real rough, but that's their thing.
Yeah, they'll call you. Yeah, they rough.
Yeah, they kind of rough with that thing. And so I think it's interesting. I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay. Yes, Jane, it was wonderful seeing you on Saturday. We had the best time ever. Oh my gosh. The best food, live entertainment, everything. Our girls from it was the whole New York crew in Atlanta. They know how to party for sure, for sure. What's the matter, mama's baby? Thank you, Dion. Yes. Okay. So I Dion and everything that she wanted to say. I hope I got everything that you wanted to say. And we look forward to you and everything you have to say again next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Mikey, you're right. The bottom line is she didn't deserve to be deleted. And this is wrong, and wrong. Jax, I don't know how old you are, but yeah, that's how they talk to each other nowadays. It's a trip. It really is. So, you all have a blessed week. Until we meet again. See you next Wednesday. Love you.